Hey, I'm Jackie Bedard, founder of Carolina Family Estate Planning, and today I'm here to talk to you about the F word. No, not that F word, but it might as well be just as taboo in the estate planning world because it's one of the most common reasons why estate plans fail. Today, I'm talking about funding. You see, most people think that once they sign their documents, that's it, they're done. But unfortunately, if your documents don't get properly integrated with your financial planning, the plan may not work the way that you expected it to. And unfortunately, most law firms don't help their clients with this part of the process because it can be tedious and time consuming. So let's talk about what funding is and what it looks like when it's done properly. You see, most of us own a variety of types of assets: real estate, cars, maybe some bank accounts, retirement accounts like 401k or IRAs. You might have some 529 plans or life insurance. All of those types of assets are handled differently when it comes to your estate and your estate plan. And if we don't take a look at how you have those accounts titled or how your beneficiary designations are set up, it can cause your plan to unravel because a lot of those designations override what your will or trust says. For example, if you have a will-based plan that says, divide everything equally between my children, but then some of your accounts have beneficiary designations that say something different, those designations override what your will says. A common place where we see people trip this up is as parents get older, at some point they decide they want to add their son or daughter to their bank account so that they can help write checks and pay the bills and manage the accounts. So they go down to the bank and they say, hey, I'd like to add my son or daughter to the account. And what usually happens is that the banker turns it into a joint account. And what happens then is when the parent dies, that account only passes to that one child, even though the will might say divide things equally between all of the children. If you have a trust-based plan and you want to make sure it works properly to avoid probate, then you need to make sure that the trust gets properly funded. Think of the trust like a box with a rule book attached to it. The rule book is your trust document where you have all your instructions about how you wanted your affairs managed. That rule book only works if we actually put your assets into the trust. And a lot of people miss that step along the way. So we have to look at every asset that you own and determine whether it should be titled to the trust. Should the trust be the beneficiary of that account when you pass away, so that everything works properly? That's what we call trust funding. For each asset that you own, we're going to go line by line and figure out how that account needs to be titled, how the beneficiary designation needs to be set up. Then we're going to work with your financial institution to figure out how to accomplish that. Because not only do we have to figure out what we need to do, but every bank or financial institution has their own forms, their own document requirements, and their own process for how to go about making these changes. Now, as I mentioned, most law firms don't help their clients with this part of the process. Maybe they give it passing lip service. Maybe they give you some sort of generic memo that you never read. And in my opinion, that should be malpractice. It's like selling somebody a car without brakes installed. In fact, a lot of law firms sell wills or trusts as loss leaders, and they make their real money down the road when your family needs help cleaning up the mess. I founded Carolina Family Estate Planning with a commitment to creating plans that work. And part of that is that we help our clients with the funding process. We create an asset detail report where we go line by line through every single thing that you own and how it needs to be titled, how the beneficiary designations need to be set up, and everything that needs to happen in order for that account to be handled properly. And then we help prepare a funding package. We get the forms, we fill them out for you. We make sure you know exactly what needs to be done so that your plan is going to work for you and your family. Look, if you're sitting there and you already have an estate plan and you're wondering to yourself, hey, is my estate plan properly funded? Then that's a big red flag that you should have your plan reviewed to check whether it's funded and what else might have been overlooked during the planning process. Give our office a call and we'll help you get started.